Lazy dog just got out of bed.
Burp. Good morning, everybody. Welcome in WTHC. We are live. I love your shirt.
Oh, thanks.
Your shirt very much. I like that. I'm very jealous.
I just shit like that. It's just chilly here today.
Yeah, it's chilly here.
Yeah.
It started out at 58. It's getting warmer as the day's gone on. It's up to 66. But, it was 58 this morning when I got up. I was like, Mrs. Hippie, turn that fan away from me. I'm cold.
Yeah. But it's a nice break, man. I like the cold at night.
It was so hot on Saturday when I went to the Canna Fest. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, my forehead is still burnt. Oh, my goodness. Anyway.
That's all right. Those events can be pretty good.
Oh my God, I had a great time. I mean, there was a couple freaky, weird things that happened, but besides that, we got to meet the wonderful and beautiful Curly Kell and her family. That was so awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Except for when she came up, she gave me a hug. She was like sniffing my neck for extra long. Uncomfortably, like weird. I was like, why?
Did you have some nicely scented suntan lotion on or something?
I don't know what it was. It was freaky.
Let's see what this piece of shit computer's going to do now.
Yes, if you haven't noticed, Dr. High is on his telephone because
are we live already?
Oh yeah, we're live.
Oh fuck, I had no idea.
We're hanging out. We're talking.
Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm over here just shooting shit.
We got thousands listening out on Live 360. You thought we were just bullshitting? Oh, no. This is the story, really. This is really what happened. She was sniffing me on my neck. I was like, this is awkward. Now, come on, get away. And she finally moved away, and then the day went pretty well after that. But it was so hot. We were, it was like, I don't want to complain. Right. I don't want to complain in any way because, I know the people on the other side of the country down south are suffering, and I feel for you guys, dude. Oh my God, I don't know how you guys are doing it. Yeah, oh my God, they're decarboxylizing down there at 125 degrees for 10 days straight. I mean, come on, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's been a crazy summer, right?
For one day, it might have hit 90. If it hit 90, I'm not quite sure. I didn't really look at the temperature that day. I kind of just hung out and. Anyway, it was a great day. Besides the heat. Let's start at the beginning. So I meet Curly Kell. She's sniffing me. It's okay. We get to know each other.
Did you guys move around in circles? Hey, were you moving around in circles as this sniffing was going on, or?
Oh, I was kind of standing still. She was just kind of hugging me and sniffing my neck. It was weird. I don't want to talk about it.
That's funny.
It might just be a thing. See, she did sniff me. See, she admits it. She admits it.
I did sniff you. I did not. She says. I don't know. Is that one of those Freudian slips?
Yeah, I know. Now all of a sudden, not. Now that we're on the air, I did not. But I saw you say did right there.
That's funny.
She did sniff me. It was right here. It was kind of freaky, but. Her husband and her mother-in-law are standing right behind her, and I'm like, all right, this is getting weird. You need to back up.
Did they sniff you too?
No sniffing from them. This is what was freaking me out. It was weird. But anyway, I got over that fairly quick because there was the
You got over it. That's good.
I got over it fairly quick. I mean, it's still lingering, but I mean, I got over it fairly quick.
That's funny.
Because of the aroma. Oh my God, it was like the most beautiful day ever. Everywhere I walked, I just would walk into big old clouds of
right.
Oh Jesus, it was beautiful. It was a sunny, hot day. The smoke was rising. We got there really early, which worked out well. I had like front row parking with my handicap sticker.
Oh, nice.
I got me. I was like right up against the fence to get in, like 7 cars down. It was nice.
They can be real nice sometimes, eh? Those handicap parking stickers.
They work out well. Yes. I feel guilty because I'm supposed to walk with a cane, but I'm too cool for that yet. I'm like, no, I'm not that old yet. But
Well,
now
you
I've
know,
been
you
thinking
do what
about
you
it
need
more.
to do, right?
Right, I should. Like, I almost fell like 2 or 3 times there because of potholes, you know, you don't see, and
Right.
then my knee
Was it in the grass or in like a
well,
parking
they
lot?
had I guess they had, like, a walkway around,
Okay.
like a cement walkway. It was at a campground. It was
Oh, is that a
amazing.
campground?
It
Oh,
was
cool.
amazing, yeah. There's next year, we're gonna camp there.
Oh,
So,
yeah,
we're
that
gonna
would
get
be
the
the idea,
campsite.
right?
Yeah, we're gonna get a campsite, and then I'm gonna have a booth there next year as well. So I'm gonna be
Right.
playing live there. We'll go live from there. You're gonna come on and go live from there. We're gonna hang out. We'll have guests come and sit with me, and
Yeah, you set up a table.
oh yeah, we're gonna do the whole shit.
Yeah,
There was
we do like a
no.
full 8 hours of coverage. You know what I mean?
I'm telling you, there was not another radio station anywhere to be found. There was artists playing music up on the stage. They had a nice
Yeah.
stage with a whole bunch of different bands coming up and playing. We didn't get to see very many because I was. This is where the whole story goes crazy. Now,
Right.
I lost my mind, Dr. High. I got there and I wouldn't buy anything. I'm like, no, it
Right.
doesn't look right. It doesn't smell right. It doesn't. I'm afraid to buy it because it's not coming from a dispensary, even though these guys are telling me. I'm like, I don't believe you. I don't believe that this is not Delta 8 or I mean Delta 8 or Delta 10. I'm like, I don't believe you.
But you're going to this show in a state where it's not legal for recreational purposes, right?
Right.
So, I mean, how can these guys openly flaunt the law like that unless they're willing to take the pinch?
He kept saying that it's private
in America,
property.
it can be a pretty big damn pinch.
It was private property, and the law is not allowed to come unless somebody was to call them for a reason.
See, now that makes sense because I know there's truth to that. You know what I mean? They have to be lit on to the property unless there is a complaint from the public.
Right. There was like a
or
gate
somebody's in danger. You know what I mean?
You had to pay to get in. It was like a carnival, you know. You paid to get in. It was $15. You got a little wristband on, and you were in for the day, and you could do what you wanted.
Nice.
Did not use the wristband the next day because my son tried. He went back the next day, and he was like, "Hey, I got my wristband on right here," and they were like, "Yeah, nice try."
They probably changed colors.
Oh no, it was green. Oh, it was just like a lot fadeder than their new ones.
Okay.
You know, but you could tell it was worn for a day already. That's how he wasn't trying to. He was like, "Oh, look, I got my wristband," and they were like, "Oh yeah, $15." Right. So I see numerous people. I have 2 different glass blowers who have agreed to come on. I just have to reach out to them. They're going to come and they're going to talk to us. Absolutely amazing. One was very local.
That's it. Glass blowers are interesting. I don't know much about it.
Either, but I think it's interesting.
I find it fascinating. On Netflix, there is a
tattoo.
series.
Remember the tattoo show? Yeah, I remember.
It's not a tattoo show. It's actually a glass
blowing contest.
Yeah. And let me tell you, like, I've watched every episode of that. I thought, let me check one out. But it's so fascinating and unbelievable what people can do with glass.
Oh my God, you should have seen some of the stuff.
Yeah, I've seen some pretty amazing stuff. Some of what they call it heady glass, right? Very expensive bongs, but just so beautiful. I used to ask, I had a customer that sold pieces like that.
Right.
$6, $7, $8, $10,000 pieces. He sold them in his store. And I asked him one time, I said, Steve, who's buying these pieces? You know what I mean? Like, who's spending that money on this type of glass?
Snoop
and
is.
Well, he said, you have your ballers, right? Your guys who are in the business, making their money in the business with concentrates, or they're growers, but they like their dabs or whatever. And they're art pieces too. They're not just function. They're functional art, really. That's what they are. You know what I mean? So they're gorgeous. And he says the other group that really tends to buy a lot of those were fraternity houses and sorority houses on campus. He lived in a university town. So he had 2 universities in the town that he lived, or that he operated his business in, right? And what they would do is all the members would get together, and they'd each only have to chip in maybe, you know what I mean, $100 or $200, and they could have this really beautiful statement piece for the year.
Right.
In the
it would be
fraternity house for dads,
their years.
So, yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah, that's because who else spends that money?
The two gentlemen that I met, and I'm not picking on them in any way. I mean, they were I don't want to say amateurs because they absolutely were doing a fantastic work. Their stuff was beautiful, but they both said that they hadn't really expanded into that area of glass yet. They don't have the equipment. Once you get to bigger things, you have to get bigger equipment. Both of these guys were doing like small bowls, small little bongs, a lot of art, like jewelry and things like that.
Yeah, a lot of people like
making mushrooms and things. It was absolutely beautiful. Butterflies, this absolutely amazing. And I said, if you guys have time, I would love to have you come on, set up your room so that we can watch and you can talk. And we'll talk to you about, and you can make something in that 2 hour or 2.5 hour time, and they were like, both said, yeah, absolutely. We can make something in 2.5 hours.
Oh yeah.
And they were like, we can, and I'm like, and we can just bullshit and talk about the art and how cool it is. It's fucking awesome. It's amazing how they do that shit.
As much as we can use this platform, Hippie, to educate people, we can also use it to learn.
Oh yeah.
And that's
every day.
That's the cool thing, because I don't know everything about the cannabis world. I know a lot, but I don't know everything. That's for sure. And there's always more to learn, or there's always a variation on a technique that produces a really good result. You know what I mean? And that's the whole thing. Like, if you're not open to listening to other points of view or taking in new information, then you're never going to evolve, right? So you're going to be stuck in your one way, and you can't be narrow like that. You got to be much more broad. You got to be more open to other ideas. So I love it. Yeah, it'll be fantastic.
Oh, I think it's a great idea. Yeah, I took it upon myself to make that decision. I'm sorry.
No.
I'm just kidding.
Those are the kind of things you need to do. I'm not over there. I can't do that.
No, I'm not. I know. I'm just playing. So then, all right. So we walk in the gate, and Curly Kell we haven't even really met her yet. We're kind of just got there. She kind of just got there, but we got front row parking. She got wherever she got, not close as
was she able to recognize you, Hippie, with your sunglasses on?
Well, I was, yeah. Well, I mean, she recognized I'm the biggest, fattest guy walking around in there with tie-dye.
Was it the rod that she noticed first, or?
Yeah. Well, no, I didn't even get out. He left me in the car, the fat bastard. He's afraid to carry me around, so he left me in the car. I was in a bag for 2 days in the back.
You were in a bag for 2 days
in the trunk.
Surely something illegal has to be going on there.
I don't know what he's doing, but I finally got out yesterday afternoon, and I was like, "Hey, you expect me to perform?"
Yeah, like I mean, there are laws against leaving your pet's even locked up in the car. Forget about you.
Right. I mean, I'm a human.
Completely wrong.
Not right. I'm a star.
Jeez.
Anyway, so it's hot, and I'm in the car sweltering with no windows open because they didn't even think to leave the fucking windows open. And Hippie's in there hanging out. And finally they run into Curly Kell. The whole sniffing thing goes on. That's over with. Now we're on. We're like, and we walk up to this first booth, and it was kind of strange, awesome, but it was hard to keep everybody. We had like 6 or 7 people with us. My kid and his girlfriend, my wife's friend, Curly Kell, and her 2 other counterparts, her husband and her mother-in-law.
Okay.
And the big guy here, he's a handful on his own,
Right.
So, so everybody's going like their own way. And I'm kind of trying to stay with Mrs. Hippie, but I'm trying to corral everybody, but nobody's listening to me. So they all go and they're running off, getting stuff from here and getting stuff from. It's like Willy Wonka, You're like a kid in a chocolate factory. You're running around.
Trust me, I've been to those 15, events. I know how that
30, is. 21 and over. I mean, even 18 was in there. I mean, I don't know nothing, but if you were under 15, you got in free. I know that. So if you were a smoker and you were under 15, you probably got baked. Because it was flowing everywhere.
You were under 15?
I don't know nothing, Dr. High. I don't know nothing. It's
They weren't allowing
families.
people that age in there.
Absolutely, the people in there were under that age.
Really?
Parent, they have to be accompanied by an adult.
Still, though,
if their adult doesn't give a shit, then they were partaking, because I didn't see much people caring. Everybody was having a great time.
Yeah, but
I'm not trying to get anybody in trouble. Yeah, no, I agree, but I can't say anything. My son's 18 and he was there partying 2 days.
Your son's an adult. That's not really your decision anymore.
He's been coming with me for the last 5 years. So.
Yeah.
He wasn't smoking as far as I know. But he may have been. I don't know. But anyway, come on. We got to get to this story. We got a commercial already. My goodness. I got to get rid of the Tea Party, even though I enjoyed that song very much.
Yeah, it's a good one, eh? Hey, you know what I really like? I like that new Muck Sticky song. That I think that's him, right? The Bananas one, the Psycho.
Oh, that's Crazy Laurie song. We've named it Crazy Laurie song now. Yeah,
but is that Muck Sticky?
Absolutely.
Oh man, I heard that. I heard that the other day, and then I heard it this morning, and I'm like, I really like that. That's such an intelligent song. So well put together. Just natural.
I love it. Yeah,
it's phenomenal.
Yeah, I love it. I absolutely
really cool.
He gave me a whole bunch of them to play for overnight. So now he'll be on during the night. You'll hear a bunch of his songs throughout the night when we're not on, And then of course Tim and I will be playing him all the time.
Right. Hey,
Sticky fans.
Brian. Good morning. Number one. Good morning, Doug, Kelly, Lori. I haven't said good morning to everybody yet, but Chris, how are you? Fable Ann.
It must be a pain in the ass with you over
Chris, Alrista, good morning.
Let me do a commercial while you say your good mornings, okay?
Yeah, well, I've said good morning now. I think I caught everybody. Right, but I wanted to ask, Brian says, good morning from Arkansas. Can you tell me what is Phoenix Theater? I don't understand the question.
Yeah, I don't know.
Phoenix Tears? That's what I want to know, Brian. Do you mean Phoenix Tears? Because I've never heard of Phoenix Theaters unless
be there emotionally and physically. You got to dig deeper. Drive them to physical therapy. Dr.
Crazy. Good morning, Douglas. Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. If you could, share it out to your groups, but don't overload. If you see somebody's already shared it there, don't share it again. I don't want to blow anybody's group up. I'm not trying to spam people, but I just want them to know that we're here. We're available. We're at your disposal. Like that now. Disposal.
Caregiver this world has ever seen.
Crazy.
Is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at AARP.org.
But I think I love her.
/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by
PHYSCH. It's teaching me how to spell psycho too. There's always been a one for me. That song by Muck Sticky. Now you got it stuck in my head, and now I'm learning how to spell psycho. Because it was always been a tough one for me. PHYSCHO. But now we sing it every day. I'm starting to get it.
Right?
CRAZLYLORI.
But it's something that feeding America.
But I think I love her. She's crazy, Lori. But I think I love. Hi, little boxes. How are you?
Little boxes. Good morning.
This food is then provided to families and
so I'm going to try to get Muck Sticky to play at this festival next year.
Oh, that would be cool, eh?
He's interested. I have a little bit of an in. I'm going to be buying a booth for myself there next year for sure, and I'm camping there for the weekend. The campsite is like 100 yards away, right on the other side.
Let me tell you something. You have
Badger Heart Puppetry. Extremely good looks.
No, well, that you do, but WTHC could go a long way.
1535
because
I've been trying to tell people that.
You know what I mean? You have the right mindset for the cannabis space. This is the perfect platform because it says cannabis all over it. Just got to figure out how to
work a computer.
Well, no, it's the goddamn Adobe. That's what's messing me up.
Oh, me. I got a lot of shit I should be doing that I don't know how to do. and Mrs. Hippie is no longer at my disposal.
Oh,
So
because
she's
she's working.
Yeah. So
Well-
she's like, yeah, you're going to have to figure that out on your own. And I'm like,
Listen. Let's just sit
now I
tight
have
a little bit.
TikTok. I did something to my Facebook trying on my own. Hold on.
Well, I hopefully in the next 2 months before I move will have all my shit where I want it to be. Everything I'm trying to put together for the future, in the near future, hopefully it'll be where it needs to be. Then once I get to Quebec, once I get to Montreal, I can turn my focus to this also, like for this, some of the computer stuff and that, because I learn a lot and I like to learn.
It's the, like I learned now how to turn people down. That's great, but I don't know the ones that are real. So, like, I mean, if the way I'm saying it, I'm hoping that they will say, okay, you know, yes, I'm willing to show my shit.
They'll come through.
And then I know they're a real company. But it's like, you know, but I have a bunch. Like, I have a couple months worth of interviews set up. You know, I just have to call them, set them up with the people that I met through this festival this weekend.
Yeah.
I might be going down to Jersey, right across the border from us here. I see you, Brian. We'll get to that when we get back. I'm going to go to he's having a grand opening of his 4th store. It's called legallylit.com. They are amazing. They had some sort of a sip it before you rip it or rip it before you sip it kind of thing going on, where I took a fucking hit of some shit off of the top of the drink. Oh, it was amazing.
What? It was like a smoke? A fog?
Yeah, like they did that smoke thing where they put it in the top of the drink, and then you smoke, you inhale the smoke through your straw, and then you put your straw right back down into the water, into the liquid, and you inhale the liquid with it, and then you blow it out. Shoo.
Yeah, I knew somebody who was doing some like cannabis vapor shots like that. It was like a little startup business.
Well, this company is called Legally Lit. They just bought it from the people who owned it, I guess. And they're taking it over. They've had it for the last year or so, and they're doing really well. And they are excited, and they wanted to hang out with us and talk about their shop. They have all sorts of great stuff that they sell, you know, and I'm like,
perfect.
yeah.
Those are just the kind of people we want to talk
And Jersey just became legal, so they're like, you know, all on the verge of getting legal. You know, they're going to become a dispensary, I'm pretty sure, is what their goal is. They have a building right, their grow house is right across from their new location that they just bought, right on the border of Jersey and Pennsylvania, which is about 25 minutes from me on the highway.
Right. So they're cultivators too.
Yeah, and they want me to come down and do a grand opening show with them and hang out at their store with the puppet and do a live store, you know, live show from there if I'm interested. You know, we were just bullshitting.
Right.
But yeah, this is all stuff that it was a great day when it came to like talking. I didn't shit myself, you know, I was pretty good. I didn't have the sharts or nothing.
Why would you have that?
Well, you go to one of them festivals, you know you're gonna have swamp ass because it's 100 degrees. You're gonna have swash. Your whole ass is just gonna be swampy and sweaty and ugh. But it went pretty well. I didn't have any of that. I didn't have any of those issues. My balls were good. They were not. They didn't bother me the whole day. The only thing that bothered me, I don't walk much, sir. I sit here a lot and do radio 8 hours a day, 7 days a week, you know, pretty much.
Right.
So this was a lot of walking for me for the first time in a very long time. My legs were sore as fuck, but I did good, man. I'm also disabled, you know. I got a rod in my leg. I'm supposed to walk with a cane and crutch or whatever, you know.
Yeah,
I didn't do that. I'm too cool for a cane unless I got something really cool. Somebody that makes canes out there want to make me something really hippie like cool. I would love something.
I've seen some nice ones like an Irish shillelagh.
I had one. I had one, and it had a hammerhead from the 1800s on the top, and it was all done up, hippie. But the handle was a hammerhead from the 1800s, and I used it as a hammer one day on a wall that they pissed me off on.
Oh.
So I put it through the wall, and then it broke.
Have a good day, little boxes. Yes, Phoenix Tears.
I'm sorry, little boxes. Have a great day. I'm sorry. I'm used to playing two songs. Shouldn't even be playing two songs. I apologize.
Sorry. This is what it is.
420. I'm used to playing two songs every time now. So.
Let's see if we get a better result.
There you go. You're all getting it now.
When Texas people want to feel good,
They go assault a queer.
when stupid people need a thrill,
They rent the Rocketeer.
when Michael Jackson needs a rush.
He humps a guy like me.
But all we need is a bag of weed to keep us worry-free. 1, 2, 3, oh, a bag of weed, oh, everything is better with a bag of weed. No, you don't need nothing, you don't need speed, because everything is better with a bag of weed.
Have a go, Brian. As Mr. H.L. Mencken said, the common man's a fool. And just like Helen Keller said, "Doof dookie people cool." But try and use your heads and don't buy into all the fear.
Hey, that's all we need is a bag of weed to make us want to cheer. And 1, 2, a bag of weed, oh, everything is better with a bag of weed. You can try and fight, but we're all agreed, because everything is better with a bag of weed.
Come on, everybody now. So how was your weekend anyway? Your weekend while we're here.
I actually on
Did you do any
Saturday
relaxing?
I felt like doing nothing, so I did nothing. I spent the whole day watching shows about people buying properties in Mexico and the Caribbean.
I get caught up in them fuckers too.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Shows. I love watching them buying island shows, buying all sorts of those shows. Yeah. Flipping houses shows. I get caught up in them fuckers.
Yeah, I like that stuff, and I wouldn't mind. Like, if I can figure out how to have mobility and freedom of movement for my job, I wouldn't mind that, because my wife is a nurse, right? So she can travel and work in other places, and it would be interesting.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome in.
morning.
Rumor has it, if your name isn't coming up and you're coming up as a Facebook user, if you go to StreamYard/Facebook and accept, it'll show your name.
Oh, yeah, that would make sense.
WTHC. Good morning, guys. Sorry, I got a little stoned and I forgot that I'm only supposed to play one 420 song in Dr. High's here. I got all fucked up and I played two. I apologize. Dr. High, I'm sorry I cut into our time, so now I'm going to have to quickly tell my story.
That's okay.
I walk around this place, and it's a big circle, but there's like paths in between. You know, it's like a campground. So you've seen campgrounds. We were probably in an area where there was probably sites, but we couldn't tell because of the way they had it all set up. You know, it was beautifully set up with paths. It was a very nice time. We walked around. Like I said, so I'm looking at these people's weeds, and I'm walking up to them, and I'm like, this doesn't look good. And I'm looking at their dabs, and I'm like, that doesn't look normal, you know? And I'm like losing my mind. And the whole day, I couldn't decide. So there's so much to tell you. I mean, like I said, I met all these wonderful people, but, you know, at the end, I decided with this one company because their prices made more sense to me. So I went with the more expensive company because they had the stuff that I bought, they had it for $300 an ounce.
Pricey.
And their stuff looked like weed, though. You know, like everybody else's kind of looked hay-like or hemp-like or CBD.
Really?
Like. I just felt like, yeah. And I smoked the joint with Curly Kel, and we smoked it, and it just didn't even taste right. She bought like a couple pre-rolls, and she wanted to smoke with the hippie, and I was like, I don't blame you.
Yeah, never pre-rolled, right? Pre-roll
and I'm
give the
like,
producer too much leeway.
right. And then she's ticking it in her mouth and she's biting off the tip. And I'm like, dude, get that shit out of your mouth. The people, you don't even know who put that in there and what was on their fingers. And
Right.
Kids.
Yeah, I tell you, we were pharmaceutically clean. We actually had a sanitation department, and part of our standard operating procedures was, that room was cleaned in the morning. The sanitation, the department head would come by. They would swab. Bless you. They would swab various surfaces inside the room. They would test them. Then you would determine at the beginning of the day if the room was in condition for production, right? Or if more cleaning needed to be done before you even started. And we were like, full hairnet.
I don't know if I saw a hairnet on a fucking hair.
Them white gowns.
People weren't wearing hairnets.
I kept my beard off in those days. I kept it very, very short because I'd have to wear a beard guard, right? If it got too long, and then it was.
I tried to teach my boss a lesson once. I had really long hair, and they told us we weren't allowed to wear hats anymore. So I shaved my head bald in protest from long hair down to my ass, completely bald the next day. And they were like, "You still got to wear a hairnet, dickhead." I was like, "Fuck!" Now I look like a dumbass with a hairnet on a bald head.
Well, I did that right before I went to the States. I cut my hair right off.
You had to change your personality real quick.
Yeah, but it was more about not allowing somebody to have control of my head. You know what I mean? From the long hair.
Sure.
And my wife to this day still has that hair.
Oh, that's
they put it into a ponytail and just made one big cut to start with, and then took care of the rest. But my wife still has that hair.
We have my kids' hair. Yeah, my wife has
20 years ago plus.
That's fucking crazy. She might have a screw loose.
I don't know. Perhaps she makes these dolls and sticks it with pins or something.
Yeah, maybe that's where all your aches.
She might have other plans for that. Who knows?
Right.
Talk about putting trust and faith in somebody.
Right. Woo. Every year she creates a new Dr. High. Yes, bitch.
What was that?
What the fuck was that pain?
She must have heard me.
He heard us. All right. So all day I'm walking around this place smelling wonderful weed. Now it was great because my son, he bought a bunch of pre-rolls and he kept coming up and smoking with me. And then, so I was just chilling, walking around, and Mrs. Hippie was on the hunt. She was on the prowl until.
Is that the way you put it?
Yeah.
She was on the hunt or on the prowl?
She was on the prowl. She was working the streets there. She was going up to every booth, getting information from them, talking to them, telling them about WTHC radio and how cool we are, and trying to explain that there was a puppet involved because I was not carrying a puppet around, and it was very well accepted. We did hand out Veronica, You Have Me Hooked. We love you, Vern. We went through and we were handing out the cup cozies to all the people that we wanted to give a business card to, and it had our barcode on the back of the cup cozy so they could click right to our link. So that's how they could find us. That worked out perfectly. Yeah, we still have a lot left, so we didn't give out a ton of them, but we took a lot more information than we gave. But next time we're going to give, we're going to have a booth next time. We're going to have merch for sale.
Yeah, and let people come to you. That's it. Exactly. Absolutely.
Right. Yeah, and they'll be coming by and we'll have the music playing in the background and they can hear us. We'll have them set us up on the other side away from the stage, although I would love to hear the bands playing because I would love to have gotten some of their information and played their music on my radio show. That's what I'm all about. But I didn't get an opportunity to talk to any of the bands. I should have went back on Sunday and just spent the day over there by the bands, getting high and talking to them. But my man Elvis, if you're out there, man, I want that band on, man. He's been posting pictures. He had AC/DC, or Back in Black, they're called. They're a cover band from AC/DC. He has a theater that he runs up by him. I guess he's a member of some sort of a organization. I think it's like the VFW or something like that. and he helps work there, donates his time to there, and they have a very big stage and pavilion, and they had a concert just this last weekend. And I wish I would have known. I would have went up there as well, man, and hung out with him. It was amazing. He had Back in Black there. They were amazing. I've seen them too. Like 2 years ago, I saw him down in Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania, at the Monarch Opera Theater house there, indoor, and it was fantastic. This was an outdoor event. It was amazing. It looked like a great show. Anyway, so I walk around all day. We're there 6-7 hours. At one point, Mrs. Hippie goes to this booth, and I'm not paying attention, okay?
Yeah.
And I'm over at the next booth talking to somebody else, or she left me, and I'm still talking to the people from the booth before. She leaves me, and she goes to another booth, and I hear my son say, "You're getting what?" And she said, "I'm getting a drink. I'm getting a boba." And I'm like, "Oh, all right, boba."
A boba. Yeah, that's that boba tea, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, "I really want a boba." And so I hear my son say, "Oh, okay, whatever. Get me one too," or whatever. I don't know. I don't think he got one. Anyway, they were expensive, $10 or $14 for one drink. That was with infusion.
Yeah, because I've heard that's actually pretty easy to infuse.
Yeah. So Mrs. Hippie, they say, "Do you want it infused?" And
because it's tapioca, right? Those little balls.
Tapioca balls are down in the bottom. Yeah,
and that's where the infusion would incur. And
probably, yeah. I was chewing those fuckers up. Oh, I probably got most of the high then. I love those little fuckers. Like, it reminds me of the days of eating my boogers. It's like good old snot.
Yeah, they're slimy. Those little things.
No, anyway,
people love them. Just kidding. I've never tried it. She got high.
Right. I don't know if you know, but Mrs. Hippie had surgery recently. I think she's probably told you, or if not, she had some weight reduction surgery that has gone fairly well. She's lost close to 200 pounds.
Wow.
Anyway, she takes this drink and she's drinking it. It's hot as fuck out. I take a couple sips. She says, "Try it." My son takes a couple sips. He tries it, but she drinks 90% of this fucking drink. Well, they asked her if she wanted it infused. She says yes. I was shocked as hell. Let me tell you, it took a little while. It took like maybe 2 hours.
That's what it can take sometimes.
All of a sudden, my lady is on the ground.
Huh.
I'm dying. I'm having a heart attack. My head's going whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah, because the blood pressure comes up, right?
I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And she's like, "I got to sit down. I got to sit down." And she kind of like just throws herself to the ground against a tree. And I'm like, "People are looking at us. You better get up. They're going to call an ambulance." She's like, No. I just need a drink. I need a drink. She gets a drink. She's got grapes in the cooler. She starts chewing on some grapes. And she's like, "Oh, all right." And so now this is towards the end, and I still haven't bought a thing. And I went there with intentions on buying enough to make it through the week so that I can go to the dispensary this week coming instead of, where I had a little less money. Next week, I'll have more money, so I'll be able to go to the dispensary and enjoy myself a little bit better. Anyway, so she's like, "You guys go," because her friend Christine and I are the only ones left. Everybody, Curly Kel came, sniffed me again, gave me a hug, and then she left. She said it was too hot. Her mother-in-law, Darlene, although they all seem to have had a good time, if it wasn't so hot, it probably would have been a better time for them.
So, and how long is the drive to the place, right? Like,
Curly Kel, I think it was like an hour and 45 minutes for Curly Kel from where she lived. It was okay. It was a little less than 2 hours or so. Hi, Gigi. How are you? Welcome in, everybody. So she.
Good morning.
Like I said, Curly Kel left and her family left. And so now it's just me, my wife, and her friend Christine, who they've been friends for, 20 years or so. They've been like best friends here for 20 years or so. So she says to us, "Christine, and you go get your stuff, whatever you want, and we'll come." And I kind of said it. I said, "We're going to go run and get our stuff. You relax here by the tree under the shade. Keep drinking your water, behave yourself, and we'll be back." And we ran down the road to the next booth that I kind of finally felt was the booth that I wanted to get my stuff from. Right,
okay.
So we go over there and I buy a $50 eighth of GG4.
Okay.
And I buy 3 grams for $100 of dabs.
You know, Gorilla Glue number 4 was the original one.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, that's my favorite. Yeah. And it's an indica. And
Yeah,
it's a good
GG4.
one. Yeah, I like it. It's like, so that's why I went with it, and it looked pretty. It looked like flour. It looked like weed. When I went to these other booths, they kind of the flour looked pale. Some of it still had leaves on it, like it wasn't trimmed appropriately.
Right.
I'm just like, some of them looked like prickly bushes, and I was just like, this doesn't even look like weed. I don't even know what this is. It was just weird. I don't want to say anything about anybody's weed, you know, like they could have been real,
well, you're not talking about anybody in particular anyway, so that's one thing. That's
right. I'm not mentioning any names, but I do have some of their cards. I did pick up some of their cards because I still want to talk to them about their growing procedures, and they.
Well, yeah, especially if they're producing stuff like that, we really want to know.
Right. Well, this other company that I ended going up with, and I will say their name because I'm fairly satisfied. I mean, price wise wasn't what I was looking for, but their name is Crafted by Nick. Infused Foods. They do a lot of foods and catering as well.
So he's a pro.
His cards, I'm trying to read. I should have left the light on. Small Buds, Big Love. Infused Crafted Foods by Nick, and that's his business card. But the dabs, I don't know if you can find them, if you can look them up.
Got a website?
I would assume it's Infused Foods by Nick.
If he's got a website, it would probably be on the card. But I can't look him up right now because I'm on the phone with you.
Oh, right. That's true.
This computer
it does have a card. It does have it. It is at Craft.
So he's got a website.
At Craft Ed by _Nick. That's all I can see. Anyway, I decided to go with them because their flour looked the best. Their dabs looked as closest to possible to being like.
What did these other dabs look like that they didn't look right?
I don't know. Peanut butter. I don't know. It could be my mind. It could be my mind, Dr.
Peanut butter could be, if it looked like peanut butter, it could be like rosin.
Yeah, but I was just so afraid of that.
Smelling everything would teach you a lot, though.
Smelling it was a waste. I felt like they all smelled the same.
Okay.
It was like, I don't know. I just felt like a lot. My wife kind of hinted to one guy, and he was like, I'm selling Delta 9. I don't know what everybody else is selling, you know. And then we were like, I guess we shouldn't really be asking him if it's Delta 9. It's kind of insulting, you know. So we didn't really ask. I'm like, I don't know what to do here, Dr. So I walked around the whole time enjoying myself. People were feeding me gummies as I walked past their booths. People were feeding me cookies. People were giving me, Mrs. Hippie was giving me drinks. I did that sip it and rip it with Legally Lit. You know, by the time my son was smoking joint after joint with his girlfriend and I, so we were just getting high, you know.
Okay.
And Curly Kell sat down and me and her smoked that hay that she got, a $5 pre-roll of hay.
Right.
And then, you know, we were disappointed in that. And then I was like, and then we went back around and we saw the hay people because we didn't know where Curly Kell bought it from. But me and Christine were still trying to find a place to purchase from.
Right.
And I saw the hay people, and Christine was like, hey, look at that, 3 for $20. And I was like, yeah, but that's the purple rolling paper.
But that's the straw.
I said, that's the purple rolling paper I smoked earlier. This is probably where Curly Kell got hers from. And she was like, what does that mean? And I'm like, oh, you don't know. Curly Kell and I smoked this earlier, and it was gross. It tasted like dirt, and it wasn't even good. We didn't get high. And she was like, oh, then we don't want to go there. And I was like, no, let's keep going. Anyway, the girls where I did go were beautiful. The gentleman there was very nice, customer service wise. I mean, they were in the middle of trying to eat and clean up, and the storms were coming. Everybody got drenched right after.
Oh yeah, you got rained
I got out of there just in time, and next thing I know, it was pouring.
Okay,
so they were all cleaning up and trying to get out, I'm sure. But overall, I would give the day a 9 on success wise. Like, I found a lot of great companies. I guess we'll talk about them I'm sure you have stuff you want to talk about, but you can, if you have questions or whatever, but I don't know. I went to them. Oh, so I come back to Mrs. Hippie. Oh, I didn't tell you
Yeah, I want to
this.
hear the rest of the story.
Oh, yeah, this gets better. So I get back to Mrs. Hippie. She's laying on her back, with her head in the tent of the people next to her. I'm sorry that I came over here and I took up your area laying here on the ground. I'm like, Mrs. Hippie, you're not even in their area. You're outside of their area. If you just sit up, you wouldn't be in their area at all. She's stoned out of her fucking mind, talking silly, giggling. I'm like, and now Christine took off and went the other way. She's like, I'm out. Peace. I parked down there. I'm going that way. I'm like, great. Thanks. I have to go back and handle Mrs. Hippie by myself. I get back there and she's talking to the people in the booth, laying on the ground, pouring water on her face. I'm like, oh my God, Mrs. Hippie, come on. We got to go. I grab her up. I pick her up and we start walking towards the door. And she's like, I'm much better. I just needed to cool off and have a little something to eat. I feel much better. And I'm like, you sure? And she's like, yeah, 100%. I'm like, all right. I said, do you want me to drive? No, I'm good. I'll drive. I said, all right.
Okay.
I don't know that she's blown out. I know that she's acting. I thought sunstroke or something. So now we get in the car. Now, I prefer her to drive anytime. If she can drive, she's driving because I don't like to drive. We get in the car. We're driving about a mile and a half down the road. She looks at me and she says, I shouldn't be driving. And I'm like, why? I'm fucking blown out of my mind. I'm like, what? You just told me you were fine 5 minutes ago. Now you're stoned? Oh, my God, I'm so stoned. I can't even drive. I'm like, great. Pull over. No, I'm okay. I'll make it. I'm like, are you sure? No, yeah, I'm okay. I'll be fine. Okay. We drive another 3 or 4 miles. All right, I'm going to pull over. All right, pull over. No, I'm going to go. We're going to be all right. I said, all right, if you're going to drive, just stay between the two lines right here. That's it. Just stay. You know where we're going. We're on the back roads. We're taking it. We're going our way home. Everything's fine. You're fine. Let's just drive. I haven't drove like this in so many years. I'm like, great. I'm so stoned. Then she gets home. She's staring in the refrigerator. We finally make it home safely, thank God. But then she gets in and she's staring in the refrigerator and she thinks she's on Chopped. I am going to make us the most amazing dinner ever. I go on the air. I'm exhausted. I'm like, I don't even know why I came on the air, but I felt as though I should do at least a couple hours because, it's Saturday and I'm always on the weekends for a few hours. Right. So I go on from like 4 to 8, but I'm kind of just chilling by myself in the Discord by myself in my own bedroom. And I get up and I go out during a commercial break and I look to the right and Mrs. Hippie is out cold on the bed. I said, wake up, you bum. She's like, I'm awake. I'm like, what are you doing? I'm high. I'm like, you were making us dinner. Yeah, I'm going to make us dinner, but I'm high. I'm just going to rest my eyes for a few minutes. I'm like, all right. I said, you can't sleep this off. This is when you were but I'll tell you, Dr. High, best time I've ever had with her in the last 20 years. Oh, yeah? This was reminded us of when we first started dating. It was the best. That's when I fell in love with her, when she was stoned.
Well, like
then she turned into the psycho mom that I live with now, Hitler thing going on. I'm like, what the hell, man? This is not the woman I married. I married a stoner who was pothead now. What the fuck? I'm never doing it again now. And then again today or yesterday, yesterday, she woke up and she was like, I'm not doing that ever again.
Well,
like, I'm not a drinker. I'm not a smoker. I don't do any of that stuff anymore.
Was there any part of it she enjoyed?
She was giggling and laughing and having a great time when she was talking about making food. She made some crap. I don't even know what the hell it was. I ate it, but only because I'm fat. I'll eat anything. But it was my belly was not happy the next day. It was like chickpeas and chicken rice with ground beef and onions. I don't in a mixture of I don't know. She called it stoner stew or something like that. And I was like,
Well, there you go. That's creative.
Like, whatever. You call it whatever you want.
Funny.
I just need something to go in my belly. She was high for 2 days. Yeah, she was high. Yeah, on Sunday morning, she still felt high. Anyway,
Well,
guess
you
what
know,
time it is again?
The thing is that she probably doesn't know what the dose was.
No.
There's no way to tell. If she enjoyed any part of the experience, number one, part of the stress would come from having to drive home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially when you're not used to being stoned. 65 milligrams. See, if it was 65 milligrams.
Yes, that's right. She did say it was 65
I mean,
milligrams.
that's a dose for, especially when you're not used to doing it.
And she had her belly cut. You know, she has a smaller stomach because of the surgery.
Well, don't forget. I tell you, when I'm looking to do just a dose to enjoy and do things, it's 20 milligrams. If I want to get high and sit on the couch and watch a movie, I take 50. And that's me with 45 years getting high all the time at 300 pounds.
No wonder she was a blithering mess.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? So maybe if you tried 10 or 15 or 20.
All I know is that's
home,
what I need to give her every day.
You'd have a good time.
I like her.
See, Kelly took the 65 milligram and didn't feel it. But that's just, everybody's different, right? That's the thing with cannabis. You gotta be in a safe environment, and you gotta experiment in a place that's safe till you find what works for you just right.
Right.
The nice thing is with cannabis, you can experiment at least twice a day.
Right.
So
it
won't take too long to get a result.
We got to do a commercial. We'll be right back. But when we get back, we'll talk about the seeds I bought.
Okay.
WTHC, you're hanging with Da.Hippie and DoktorHigh.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today, I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying, totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
Discord in the
You
radio
don't have to
station
speak
so I can
teen
come
to be
fuck
a
with you in a
perfect
little
parent.
while.
Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad, just the same.
I'm a puppet.
To learn more, visit
Bitch,
adoptuskids.org. A public
Hi,
service announcement
glitch.
brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and
I
Human
mean,
Services,
Fable.
Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Hi, Fable. How are you?
This is the story of a very special woman. In a matter of seconds, she turned herself into
Welcome
a
in,
great
everybody.
mathematician
Please do me a
or an
favor and
entrepreneur.
share it out, like
Her
and
knowledge
subscribe.
was
If you have a
limitless
YouTube,
and
go
still
over there
is.
and subscribe to
She could
us.
also
We
make
really,
monsters
we're almost
disappear,
at 1 million. I think
especially
we're at
those that lurked in the shadows
83.
under the
83.
Once, this woman put
We are
back together a
blowing
teenage
it
girl's
away,
broken
blowing
heart,
up.
which had been shattered
83.
in 1,000 pieces.
We might still be at
Just by
82.
giving her a bear
I
hug,
didn't look.
she masqueraded as a regular person at work, but as a superhero at home. Everyone knows her as Gabriella. I still call her Mom.
Come on.
Your hero needs you now.
Damn commercials. I know,
AARP
Doctor.
is here to
I'm
help.
sorry.
No, it's not the commercials. It's this
We need to
computer.
help with
It's
tips and
this-
tools at
Because I wanted to use
All right, we're going to take care of that.
Photoshop a while back, right?
Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Adobe Creative Crowd.
Holistic Health Water has certified medical grade water ionizers that make 7 types of
We
water.
got a lot of things to talk about with Dr. High
There's a
because your
5
freaking
micron filter that
art
lasts
freaked
up to
me
a
to
year.
freak out, bro.
25 to 30
Why?
years.
She started
This is
talking to
attached
me
your
and
faucet.
shit. I was like
Go under your
tripping
sink.
out.
Even get a
Why?
jar in it for
It's
just
the
shower.
girl started talking.
Yourwater.org.
She
Get
was
a
like,
free
"Hi,
ebook. Plus,
I'm
pay for any
AR
machine
Art
full
by
and get an
Dr.
extra filter
High."
free. Change your
I was
water
like,
and
"You're
Oh.
You're freaking
Yourwater.org.
Yeah, there's a couple good ones. I got an alien one that's pretty good too.
Hey, it's me, Mississippi. Check out Burn
like
on
I was looking
TikTok,
at you
their
as a
new
picture the
hobby
other day,
coach.
and now you're
She's
talking to me.
amazing.
That's
And everything she makes on TikTok, she sells at You Have Me
Funny.
Hooked 23 at Etsy. So you can
What
watch
movie
her
should I watch while I take the rest of these shrooms?
You have
Should I
an
just stay
idea.
on Discord
Dr.
with the radio
High.
station?
She's an
You
incredible
should
artist.
see Stanka.
You Have Me
She
Hooked
sure
on
is busy.
You Have Me Hooked
Stank,
23
who's Stank? Oh, Stanka's her plant, eh?
WTHC. Yeah, Stanka got cropped, I think, and topped or whatever. She is looking good. I guess that's her pet's name. I have started the process of 2 more. Speaking of Stanka, pardon me.
I just want to get to Brian. Brian asked a question.
Yes, yeah. I want to take care
like
of
an
Brian.
hour ago.
I know.
Yeah, Phoenix Tears is really just like RSO. Only difference is they're processing it a little bit differently. It's still a full plant extract, full spectrum cannabis oil, except when they make RSO, when they evaporate off the solvent, it's done with heat, and the heat goes above 180 degrees to remove that. So there's some conversion of THC to CBN, some things that happen there that are a little bit different. And that's what darkens the oil. Phoenix Tears, the solvent is evaporated under vacuum, which means it can be done at a way lower temperature, which preserves a little more of the terpenes and stuff like that are there with Phoenix Tears, but you won't generally find as much CBN, so it won't be as sleepy there. You know what I mean? Like it won't have as much sedative effect, let's say, as an RSO. But yeah, basically they're very, very similar in what they can do. So perhaps Phoenix Tears may be a better daytime use, where RSO might be a better nighttime use.
All right. Thank you. Any other questions, Brian? So I want to go on to the mushrooms that were abundant and everywhere.
No problem, Brian. My pleasure. Mushrooms were abundant everywhere where you were this weekend?
At the festival, yeah. Oh my God, they were everywhere. Every table had some for sale. Penis envy everywhere. It was crazy. I so close, but I ended up not purchasing any. Not because I was afraid of them, because they looked good. They looked legit from what I remember.
It's okay. I'm gonna get you set up for that.
Oh, right. I like the sounds of that.
Yeah, I messaged with somebody over the weekend who has a store.
I'm gonna own a store. You're buying me a store?
Well, they specialize in mushrooms, and kratom and stuff like that. But mushrooms, she's big into mushrooms and very scientific about the approach and what she does. So, because we do talk about mushrooms sometimes on here, I thought she might make an interesting guest.
Absolutely.
And then you'll end up with the connection.
Absolutely.
So, I would say hold off, because I believe whatever you see from there would probably be exactly what you expect to see.
Right.
And I should be arranging that in the next couple of days.
You just let me know whenever, set it up for whenever you want. I mean, as long as you're available, I'm available. So if it needs to be
they were doing a show out of town this weekend. So they said that they were tied up till at least the end of today. But we talk afterwards.
Yeah, no rush. I'm not saying. But set it up if you want to set it up at this time of day for you, or if you want to set it up in the nighttime. Like that dude, I was talking to him. I don't remember your name, dude. I apologize if you're out there. The Bongs guy from Australia. He wants to come on and talk to us. He's definitely interested in hanging with us. Very nice guy. All about getting the legalization passed over there in Australia.
Yeah.
Also a grower and
was that the guy that popped the message in on the chat the other day?
Yeah, official pop smoker, I think his name.
Okay.
Yeah. He wants to come on, but our show it's technically midnight at his time.
Yes.
So I'm trying to figure out how I can work that so that you and I can be there and be at a reasonable time for him.
Yeah.
Which would be like 5 a.m. for us, which I'm not interested in, but which would be like 8 o'clock for him or something, but
Yeah. Bedtime, man.
we have to figure it out. Yeah. Like maybe we can get you back on later in the evening one time and do a show where he can
possible.
And it'll be like morning for them there,
It's possible. What's
Yeah,
Brandy
well, I'd
say?
love
I
to
must be in the wrong Facebook room. I don't see anyone you mentioned.
Well, I called Glitch's name out, but she's not here. She's not
Oh.
here. Glitch is not here. So that's probably what you're talking about.
I
Who's
tell you,
giving
I
us the
gotta give
finger
you
down there? Hi, whoever's giving us the finger down there. So mushrooms were everywhere. That was cool.
Okay.
I saw them everywhere. I didn't buy any, but like I was saying, they were everywhere. I'm very excited to see the prospects everywhere of it coming to our area. And the openness about it. Like I said, it was private property. I guess that's why everything was okay, because everything was
Right.
there. I mean, I didn't see any of the bad drugs, but I saw a lot of the really, really good ones. Weed and mushrooms everywhere. Hemp, CBD. So I bought some seeds, all right?
Okay.
A young gentleman by himself, him and his dad actually sitting there. And I was most intrigued by him out of all the seed people. His are taken care of by himself, and he has agreed to come on the show and talk to us about how he goes through it and how he does it. He is not a big, I don't think he's a very big company, but if you wanted to try to look, you don't have the ability today. Damn it.
No, not right now. I don't.
Hi. All this was on the opportunities of you being able to look these fuckers up when I called them out.
I'm telling you, this. I'm just going to say it out loud, man. Anybody who thinks about putting Photoshop in their computer, don't do it, because this Adobe Creative Cloud, I uninstalled Photoshop a couple weeks ago because it was causing problems for us. And I can't find how to uninstall this Adobe Creative Cloud. And that's what keeps popping up. And it's saying it's damaged. You got to repair it. But I'm like, I don't even need you because I don't even use Photoshop.
My life. Right. Tell her, get it out of my life. I don't want you.
Yeah, but it's messing up.
I usually yell, Mississippi, I need you. And then
I can't figure it out right now. I don't want.
You want me to yell to her?
No. I'll figure it out. I'll just go on YouTube afterwards.
She's a computer genius.
YouTube's the key to all the answers you need.
Sharon, I need you, Sharon. Anyway, so this young gentleman, I would say in his probably between 25 and 30, somewhere there, maybe 32 at the most. And his dad were sitting at this table, little booth by themselves, nobody really talking to them. It was kind of weird,
because they're just seed guys, right?
Well, no, they had plants. I could have bought. I'm a dumbass. I should have bought plants, man. They had like plants already pre-grown.
Did they really?
You could buy $40 for like already a foot tall plants, $40 each. I should have bought a couple, but I didn't. I bought seeds instead. I'm a dumbass, but I didn't have the money.
Seeds you can't use until next year. Those plants you would have been harvested this year.
I've already started 2 of those seeds.
Okay.
I guess I'm gonna grow them indoors somehow. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, because you're gonna be
those. Yeah, I mean, I might be a couple months outside if they get.
Yeah,
going.
you're gonna be a bit pressed. And the thing is once you go that couple months outside, there's no going back, right? Because you're gonna go into the light cycle. That's the problem. You're gonna be out there. The light cycle changes after the 21st of July. Right, so we're already on the backside of light. So if you go outside, it's going to flower on
out of the water. They're in a napkin right now. Nothing started yet. Should I pull them out and dry them off?
How long they've been soaking?
12 hours.
No, I think it's too late. You just got to go through it. It's just a couple of foods.
And the other one that's out there that I started, the banana puddingtime, that's already got 2 little leaves on it. It's already popped out of the dirt and got 2 little leaves on it. But that's another one. It's not an auto flower.
Yeah, the only thing is you're just going to get smaller plants with smaller yields. That's all.
That's okay as long as I can keep going. Like now I have
Yeah,
those.
there's no
My
reason to
goal is
stop. It's just that there's no, you said, I guess I'm going to grow them indoors.
grafting.
And then you said you got a couple of months outside maybe. And I was like, well, if you're going to go indoors, you got to stay indoors.
Go by doctor's orders,
Yeah, as soon as you go outdoors, it's over.
Keep it indoors. They'll just grow indoors. I might have to go to that light person that refuses to come on the show and buy some lights.
WTHC radio putting a message on in the comments.
That's probably Mississippi.
Oh.
Don't say nothing bad about her. She did not get high this weekend. She was perfectly fine, everybody.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. She just got to try it again, but with a dose that's more appropriate, perhaps.
Was it 65 milligrams? Is that what they said? Because that's what.
Yeah, that's what
Kelly
said. Yeah, 65.
If that's 65, that's for a horse. That's enough milligrams for a horse.
Well, it just all depends, right? You just don't know. That's a standardized dose is not appropriate when it comes to cannabis. It's very difficult to standardize a dose. You basically got to start with 10 milligrams and work your way up in 10 milligram implements until you hit your target. That's basically the only way to do it. And then once you've found that target, then you know where you need to be, right?
Can 10 milligrams be the target goal? I mean, to make you as happy as you want to be? I mean,
some people find effects at 2.5. And if it's nano emulsified, then it's much more effective already, even at that smaller dosage, right?
Right, because twice as high, twice as long, right?
Yeah, the 10 milligram nano emulsified dose can really give you the experience of maybe a 40 or 50 milligram oil dose, right? Or baked into food or in a gummy. So it's just that much more efficient, right?
Speaking of
food,
you
have to understand the technology that's been involved in that infusion too, to understand the potential for the impact that it's going to have, right?
So my friend Curly Kell decides we go over to the women that we met the year prior, and we got edibles from them.
Right.
They are fantastic. They make cookies. They're a fantastic duo, two women who do edibles, and they have a whole platform, we'll call it. Anyway, their edibles rocked our world the last time we were there. I didn't have them because edibles don't work for me, but other people who had tried them said, whoa, they're pretty fucking good, So we told Curly Kell about them, and we were like, yo, there they are. Go check them out. See if you want an edible. Her mother-in-law was very interested in getting an edible because she's not much for smoking weed, but she wanted to enjoy herself. So I don't know the full story. I don't know what happened with them and the cookies, but from what I understand, Curly Kell ate one of them. They were some of them were 35 milligrams, and then the other ones were like 125 milligram cookies.
Okay.
And I don't know which one she ate, but her ride home, she slept the whole ride home. So I think the cookies knocked her on her ass. But she won't admit nothing. She's a tough guy from Brooklyn. She's like, fuck you. I wasn't asleep. I was awake.
You got to remember there are different factors at play too, right? With edibles. Did the people decarboxylate properly? Did they, you know what I mean? Was the process correct to maximize the potential of the infusion?
Well, like I said, these guys have been around. I've seen them at 4 festivals in the last 2 years. Yeah. They're here every year, and I've heard nothing but good things, like I said. So I feel like they're doing a good job, but I don't try them because I'm not edible friendly, I guess you can call it.
Right.
Anyway, Curly Kell has since had more of those edibles, and she again said all it's really doing is making her tired and sleepy. They're not really getting her high. They're making
this could be a result of either decarboxylation too high or too long, right? They might have gone too long in the process of decarboxylation, and that is where the CBN starts to present to the degradation of the THC, and that is sleep inducing on top of it, the strain that was doing that they extracted from could have myrcene. You know, so you could have myrcene
and last year's
CBN
strain,
there,
which
and
fucked us up is definitely not the same strain they're using right now, right? I mean, so,
and that's the thing, right? When you're producing edibles from your own extracted, like cannabis in oil or cannabis in butter, your results will be different every time, strain dependent, dose dependent, harvest dependent. But when you produce edibles from distillate, your results are repeatable over and over and over and over again. Or from isolates, they're repeatable. They're more
fairly close. I wouldn't say they would ever be.
Pretty close. But depending on your source material, right? If you have control over that and you can hit a target of 90% purity every time, you know, then you can really standardize your dose very, very easily. But it's different with flour.
I was still thinking as a consumer, not as a
or
person.
From converting shatter or rosin, because you can make edibles out of any of those preparations, but they will exhibit different properties as far as effects are concerned from each different extraction and preparation, where distillate would be much more predictable over and over and over.
I have to tell you, Dr. High, we've only known each other a few months, right? Maybe 6 months total, maybe, right? 8 months, maybe.
No, not even.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't even know when.
Only came out of the closet in March.
So maybe since March. Well, Hobbies knew about you, and he.
What's up, Kyle?
Good morning, Kyle. But what I was getting at is, in that short period of time that we've known each other, I walked around there and I felt like I knew stuff. Like, we talked, and I was like, "Oh, I know what they're talking about because I learned that from Dr. High." Oh my God, I know what they're saying. And then I mentioned nano emulsification, and they were like, "Oh," and I was like, "Yeah, you got to go watch our video on how to do it." And they said, "Oh," and I was like, "Yeah, come check us out." You know, it felt good. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. And I had some knowledge. Like, I was asking them about their strains and stuff and their growing processes. And I had little questions that I would never have asked before. Still no professional, and still ended up buying something that I don't know, but I'm very happy with what I got.
Well, that's good. As long as you're happy with it, you got to use your senses, right? That's what it's about, being a good consumer. I just want to go to Brian here for a second, because he says, why does RSO work sometimes and sometimes it doesn't? My question to that is it the same RSO that you're working with and you're getting different results from the exact same preparation? Or does one RSO preparation that you purchase work for you sometimes, and then you've purchased another RSO preparation and it hasn't? So my answer to that question would be different depending on your answer to those questions, right? Is it always the same RSO and it's not working all the time for you? Or are you using different products and comparing the results of two different preparations?
Right. What he said.
That would be my curiosity there. So,
I want to say congratulations to our friend Kyle, who became an uncle again, to his little nephew Elliot. Welcome in, Elliot Hippie. I hope they chose.
Congratulations, Kyle.
Elliot Hippie. I heard that's what they chose.
Always nice. Babies are a good thing.
Yep. Until they grow up and start shitting everywhere, and then you're like, oh.
They get past it eventually, and then they just need money.
They go back into it because Mrs. Hippie's been shitting herself for a couple months now.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding. Mrs. Hippie still has control over her bowels.
That's always a good thing.
If everybody wants to,
Elliot,
she's still
shout out to Elliot, Kyle's nephew,
appropriately.
Very nice. Hey, I want to let everybody out there know something.
Go ahead.
Tomorrow, I'm releasing a new article, blog post on cannabis and migraines, the potential. And to coincide with that, my book on medical cannabis and migraine headaches will be free on Amazon.
What?
So when you see a link to the article, if you pop on over onto the blog, in the article is the book and the link to it on Facebook, where it'll be free to download. from tomorrow until Friday. So you
That
have
is
4 days to
amazing.
get your hands on it. But
And
I figured-
migraines. Is that what you said? Migraines?
migraines, yeah. So medical cannabis and
Glory!
migraine headaches. That'll
Glory.
be available.
I keep telling her to rub one off, and that'll get rid of the migraine. But she refuses to listen.
Well, I'm thinking about doing something else here too.
Rubbing it off, see?
I'm thinking about doing just a little promotion for the people who watch the show, who spend time with us here. And I was thinking that I could do one of two things. If you end up buying a Dr. High image from Etsy, I'll send you a free ebook. Or if you end up buying an ebook from Amazon, I will toss you the image of your choice. So we can go back and forth on that, or if you'd want to do it. Easier for me to control it through Etsy, because when you make the Etsy purchase, I receive the information of the purchaser as far as an email address is concerned. So I would know who it was, and I would be able to communicate as to which book you would like to receive.
Next year,
I'll put all 30 on the table. So, you know what I mean? Any book that you'd want to choose. Yeah, so I'm thinking that might be something we should do for our people here, and it'll make it special just here.
I love it.
Thank you, Veronica. The book's been out for a little while. I haven't, see, Amazon's funny. I have my books in a program where somebody who has a Kindle subscription can read them free, right? There's no cost to that.
Is free right now, you said?
No, it'll be free starting tomorrow.
Starting tomorrow, free
Starting
migraine.
tomorrow, but you have to wait until I post the article, which will be tomorrow morning, and then the link to that is in the article.
All right, I'm in trouble again. I got to play some commercial.
Hey, Dad.
Go ahead.
We'll be right back. You're hanging with Da.Hippie and DoktorHigh.
Your laundry will be ready in just a minute. Dad, your lunch will be ready in just a minute.
Hey, honey, why don't you take a minute?
When you help care for a loved one, you give them as much
Skunkle,
time
that's
as you
you,
can,
Skunkle
making sure they're
Kyle.
safe and comfortable. But it's just as important that you take some time for yourself. AARP, we can help with information and
Because he smells like weed.
a healthy life balance, care for your own physical and mental well-being, and manage the challenges of caring for a loved one. Because the better care you take of yourself, the better care you can provide for your loved one.
Thanks, Dad.
Thank you.
You're there for them. We're here for you. Find free care guides to support you and your loved one at aarp.org/caregiving. That's aarp.org/caregiving.
I have so much stuff I want to talk to you about, Dr. High. I can't even keep it all in my mind. It's all going in circles.
Well, we got all week.
I know. Yeah, I know.
All right, class.
I'm a
Let's
kind
hear
of an
what
all or
everyone
nothing
did this
kind of
weekend.
guy.
Jill? Well, I raised my older
So
sister
next
to a
year
kiddo.
there's
He was at least
a
100
gathering
years old.
amongst us
My mom said it was a
stoners
record or
on the
And then
our
we went down by
420
a
friends
stream and
on
pushed up on
TikTok.
this
They
Okay.
just had the one last week, or last week,
minnows
2
swimming
weeks
around
ago
way
in
below us.
Syracuse.
And then I rescued my
Okay.
little
Next year around this time, it's going to be in Canada.
and my sister and I brought him back.
I plan on attending.
And then we all laid out.
Oh,
That's
I'd probably
when
go to that.
Yeah, that's when we're going to meet you. It's a camping event, a 3-day, weekend camping event.
Where were you, Jill?
With a whole bunch of stoners. They haven't settled on a decision, but Pothead is involved, so I would think it's going to be closer to that side of
Ask your parents.
Canada.
The forest this week.
Where's Pothead?
Nova Scotia, Newfoundland,
Oh, New Brunswick or Nova
Yeah.
Scotia.
Yeah, but
Brought
I'm
to you by
figuring
the
you're going
US
to be in
Forest
Montreal
Service
by
and the Ad
then.
Council.
Yep.
So it
I
wouldn't
will.
be a horrible, horrible drive. It would still be a sucky drive. But think of me. I got to come all the way from the United States. So check it up. Here's
How
your
do I
song,
get
Dr.
rid of
High,
it?
for our friend Crazy Lori.
This girl I know, she's a master of this.
Oh, this is that song. I like that.
No, won't directly answer questions. This girl I know, she's all over the place. She will tell you crazy lies while she's smiling in your face. When she is really happy, she's so fun to be around. But when she gets mad, I just get right out of town. This girl is C-R-A-Z-Y. But I think I love her. Yes, she's B-S-Y-C-H-O.
But I think I love her.
Yes, she's B-A-N-A-N-A-S.
Huh.
Yeah, she puts me through all kinds of stress. She's like Katy Perry, but can't sing and ain't good looking. She's like Rachel Ray, but she can't get nothing cooking. She's like Oprah Winfrey, but
Hey, is Lori still with us?
Yeah, she's Facebook user right there.
she cannot
Okay.
get a witness. If she had a leg up since she already licked it up. If she was in the game, then she must have given up. This girl is C-R-A-Z-Y. But I think I love her. Yeah, she's P-S-Y-C-H-O.
There's a pretty one.
Yeah, she's B-A-N-A-N-A.
What is that? Oh, Nanu.
Romulan.
She's got a PhD, but she's working on a buzz singing do-re.
You can come to Canada too, Kyle.
What it was, she's a few french fries short of a full happy meal. Who's a little out of touch, thinking she's a big deal. Yeah, she's long, tall, built like a refrigerator. She could mow you down and not think about it later, cause she's C-R-A-Z-Y. But I think I love her.
Careful, buddy. Careful.
Woo!
She puts me through all kinds of stress. C-R-A-Z-Y P-S-Y-C-H-O B-A-N-A-N-A-S C-R-A-Z-Y P-S-Y-C-H-O B-A-N-A-N-A-S Crazy, psycho, bananas. This girl is crazy, psycho, bananas.
WTHC. Good morning, everybody. 11:22. Happy 420, everybody. That was Muck Sticky with Crazy Psycho Bananas.
That's an awesome song. I love it.
I fucking love that song. I sang it to Mrs. Hippie. She thinks
It's got great energy.
Oh, all of his songs.
It's such a good summer song.
C-R-A-Z-Y. I just love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I think it's fucking funny.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
The words are funny. The lyrics are funny. It makes you in a good mood.
And I'm kind of picky about my music a little bit too, right? Like, so I don't like everything, but this I think is super catchy. I think it's got it needs to find its way somewhere into commercial distribution.
I agree, but he won't sign with nobody. So he's like, I'm doing this on my own. Fuck all y'all. He's
right.
Like, I'm gonna build it myself. He's been building it on social media. So that's how I can play his music on here during Facebook, because nobody has the rights to his music except for him and whoever he gives it to. So and he
good
gave
stuff.
me the right. So it's awesome. I love him. He's a great guy. We have a lot of fun. We're usually hanging out. You got to get on the Discord someday. We're hanging out in his room. He comes in. He wants to come on and talk with us, but he's a sleeper in the morning because he does a lot of his stuff during the evening.
Well, yeah, that's the industry, right? It's a nighttime industry.
He's and he's doing it all on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube.
As Kiss would say, kings of the nighttime world.
Yeah, he's one of the kings of the nighttime world. Yeah, and then he comes in and he's wonderful. He's awesome because he comes in and we're in the Discord. He built a WTHC radio room right in his Discord. And he just started his Discord, so it's building. Like when we started, when I joined it, I had more people than he did in his Discord. He has now surpassed me by double, and they're just jumping in every single day. So I immediately follow each and every one of them.
He's on YouTube.
Hello. Oh yeah, you can find all of his shits on YouTube. Yeah, just look.
I gotta check it out. I'll check it out later on today.
The videos are even better. When you see the videos, they're even funnier. You're like,
yeah, I'm gonna have to check them out.
I watched Fuck Off video earlier today. Oh my God. It's not even really a video. It was just all memes, but just fucking great memes that you're like laughing at every one of them. You're just like, oh my God, fuck off, fuck off, fuck off, fuck off. I love it. I love it.
Look at this fancy sucker, eh? Look at this thing.
Glow. Oh, look at you.
That's and then when you pull on it, it lights up.
Yeah. That's more putting towards children. Great job, Dr. High.
It's flashy.
Lighting up toys that get you high is not appropriate, Dr. High.
Well, if it makes any difference, it's child-proofed. You can't just open it. Even a big guy like me can't just open it.
It's like sometimes trying to get into a goddamn safe, some of them goddamn boxes. I'm like,
oh yeah, I've had some that I've taken a screwdriver to.
Yeah, hacksaw. I've been fucking sawing the damn thing.
Yeah,
I'm like,
especially
how
in
the
the
fuck
beginning.
do you get into this goddamn thing?
Yep.
Oh my God.
Yeah, no doubt, eh?
So this company that I bought seeds from, they're called Pheno Pheno, Pheno Pirates. If anybody could look up.
Are you
like I said, great kid. Told us a lot about how he does stuff. He had some plants for sale there as well. His dad and him had a couple, different like hippie type items, and they were just kind of chilling.
I'm going to suggest this to anybody who listens to us or into yourself.
Happens to come across.
If you want access to some of the best genetics going, you want to look into the group ACGC fam. Anyone can grow cannabis. The guy who owns that group, he's very involved, second generation, out of Humboldt County. So been doing it all his life, really in tune, and he's a genetics guy, and he's trustworthy and safe, and you know what I mean? And you can conduct your affairs with him and not have any fear or concerns and be guaranteed to be getting real top quality genetics.
Yeah.
He would be the guy. I'm going to bring him on the show when we can reconnect. Sometimes it's difficult for us to connect, but I've already asked him if he'd be interested. He thinks it'll be fun because he's also the guy who's got the social media app. ACGC fam social media app.
That's where I heard that name before. Yes, that's the app for $50. We can join that and be
50 for the year, or like $5 a month.
Yeah, 50 for
$4.99 a month, right? So it's really not out of reach for anybody. It's
you got to get me in that. I got to get in that. As soon as I get some money this month, I'll get into that because I want to be a part of that. I will be the first puppet over there, you think?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I think so.
Yeah.
I know I got to get into it myself too, but really.
You're not in it. I'm sorry.
Got to be conservative these days.
Oh, yeah. It money.
Man, that Romulan is delicious. What a nice strain. And these guys are going just straight distillate with cannabis-derived terpenes. And this is so flavorful, so naturally flavorful, like
flower.
Weedy. Yeah, like really.
That's what
weedy,
I love. That's what I want.
It's not something you taste very often.
How much do those cost you?
$50 for 3 grams.
$50 for 3 grams.
Yeah.
All right, I'm sending you. I'm gonna cash app you $700 this week. You're gonna get me 3 grammers, a bunch of them.
Yeah, if we could figure out how to get them to you.
What do you mean? You put it in the United States Postal Office. You ship it across, and
got to go across the border.
Don't put your address on it. Don't.
Well, yeah, obviously, but if you lose your load, I'll tell you, I shipped a lot of stuff.
I lose my load.
I shipped a lot of stuff in Canada.
As long as nobody gets in trouble.
Because I used to do a lot of business all over the country, right? So I mailed stuff all the time.
Yeah, but I tell the post office I'm a fucking DJ. People send me shit from all over the world. I have stuff to do with weed. I'm sorry,
but you don't want. You can get away with that, but you don't want to lose your money, right?
Well, if I lose my money, well,
that's the risk you want to take. Then,
well,
I'll do it.
We'll talk about that privately. You're not going to do that, Dr.High. That's illegal.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
We're on. TV.
So I used to send stuff in Canada, and one time I lost 2 pounds and 100 pens in a shipment.
Oh.
Yeah, and that at that time that was about 5 G's.
See, I think that
so
carts and distillate and that kind of stuff, they're not going to smell it. You put a couple incense in that.
No,
box.
they run it. They don't. They just run them through these conveyor belt X-ray machines. You know what I mean? And they'd be looking. But for the most part, I mean, I sent tons and tons of stuff through the mail and never had a problem. Just that one time. And the funny part was,
that one time gave you
I eventually get a notification because it was it was tracked mail, obviously, right? It had a tracking number. So it just never got delivered. And maybe 3 weeks later, it shows a delivery. So I checked the number back, and it tells me that it was delivered to this post office for undeliverable mail. So I contact them, and I tell them, yes, I want to know about this package. I want to come and claim it. And they said, well, sir, can you tell us what was in the package? Because here we open the package and we itemize the things, and then when you come in to claim them, we can ensure that they're yours because you claim them specifically by what they are. I said, well, you can't open the mail. And they said, well, in this office we can, sir. I said, okay. I said, it was 2 pounds of marijuana and 100 vape pens. And they're like, okay. I said, I'm a medical patient, and I was going down to visit my mother for a month, and that's the medicine I needed. And because I'm only allowed to travel with 150 grams under my medical license, that's what I needed to send down. I said, you can verify through my license. That's what I would require for 1 month. That's my 1 month of consumption based upon my grams per day. So they said, okay, can you bring us the paperwork and your Health Canada license and come and pick it up? And I'm like, yeah, sure I can.
Were you nervous?
So it's good. I'm going back to get my stuff. And then I realized I didn't put my real name on the package. I used a different name when I sent it. So I couldn't get it because my license obviously was all in my real name, but I used a false information when I shipped this piece of mail, and that came back. Can you believe that one thing that you would do automatically to try and cover it up was the one thing that screwed me out of getting my product back?
That's how it works, of course.
Isn't that crazy?
That's my life. That's how my life would work.
Oh,
I'd be like,
yeah,
of course you can have it back, Mr. Hippie. You just need to come down and show us your name is Hippie. And I'll be like, wait, my name isn't Hippie. Because everybody sends their mail to me. It comes as to the Hippie or Da.Hippie, you know?
Right.
And I don't have it go to a post office box. It comes still right to my house. So
yeah, why not?
Well, once I get bigger, I guess I won't be able to fit in this room. I guess if I get much bigger.
Yeah, there'll come a point where you want to hide, you know, because remember, this is always the truth. Being rich is nice. Being famous isn't.
I'm ready.
You know what I mean? Rich is good. Famous isn't.
Well, famous for the right things. I want to be an advocate for marijuana. I want to go down in the history books. I want people to remember the Hippie and WTHC radio. And
you know what? It's still possible in the States to advocate because you're not fully legalized everywhere across the country. And then we
so
can
many
work on.
people wanted to talk to me yesterday, and I didn't really. I mean, like, I didn't even have a WTHC shirt on. You know, my friends did, my family did, everybody around me did. Well, I would walk up, my wife would be like, "This is the Hippie from WTHC radio," and it wasn't like they even questioned. They were like, "Oh, nice to meet you," shaking my hand, and I was like, "Hey, how are you?" You know, and I don't like to do that kind of stuff, but I have to get used to it. I figure I got to get used to it.
So. This is the thing, right? The way that things work is changing. This is the more that we communicate like this, right, over the internet and apart from each other. So people still crave personal contact.
Thousands of people in here.
Yeah. And what it does, right? Think about the mindset of movies and television. Even as simple as your local newscaster. If you're in your grocery store and you see your local 6 o'clock news broadcaster walking down the aisle towards you with their cart, you're a little bit like, oh, that's a celebrity. Check it out, right? Oh, check it out. So you feel this little bit of starstruckness, even though it's, you know what I mean? It's not a big deal. But
I did it yesterday. Curly Kel, right? Curly Kel. Our local news was there filming, you know, people coming in through the gate and filming the party there. And I was like, Curly Kel, hide me. I don't want to be on TV. I don't want to be on TV.
So that's the thing that carries over. It's not that you're trying to get people to feel any kind of way about you particularly, but when they do experience you in person, the mindset of somebody they've only ever seen on television, because we only see you on a screen, still is there underlying. It's not conscious. It's a subconscious reaction.
Right.
So it's important to, when you are present, physically present, to have that interaction. It's going to be a necessary part of the business.
Yep. And that's, I was trying to break through it. I think I did a fairly good job. I talked to everybody that Mississippi spoke to. I was nice. I took pictures with some people. I got to find them and post them up, I guess.
See, for me,
one company, they have a police car. They're called, I think they're Best Damn Buds is the name of them. Best Damn Buds. They have a police car that they got out of the impound and they use as their car, and they have been pulled over and arrested numerous times for impersonating police officers. But it says Best Damn Buds right on the side of their damn car, and they said, we have some stories to tell you, my man. I said, I would love to hear them. They sell bud, and I think they're out of Jersey. I could be wrong. Could be New York or Delaware. So
yeah, it's cool to talk to anybody that's legit in the industry, right? It's emerging.
I mean, if they were afraid, they wouldn't have, said yes.
Yeah, it's emerging. There's got to be some great stories out there. Definitely, if you're at that point in the States, you got to have some level of passion. So, you know what I mean? It's all good to interact with these people.
Everybody's fighting a fight. Everybody's fighting a good fight. That's what I thought.
Because it spreads awareness, helps people build their businesses. You know what I mean? It's a good thing. It's a good thing.
I agree 100%.
It's only for me.
So much fun too.
It's only a bit of a shame because 90% of the people I interact with through Dr.High are in the States, right?
That's okay. I'll take care of
through what we're doing here. That's for the most part going to be true too. So I won't ever be able to actually show up at these events in the U.S.
No, but we can go live like this.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I was just thinking, have you ever seen
a big screen? And
you ever seen those segways that are like that have the iPad on them? So it's almost like a person. I could be like a robot with the screen that shows my face, and then I can actually be there
on you, and you can just
I can be there in robot form,
right?
As an AI, which is kind of perfect for what I do,
right?
You know what I mean?
Together. I hear you. I'm seeing.
Yeah, so I just have to be an AI. That's all.
I like it. My Wi-Fi just did something because we went from 10 to 5 in a matter of a second. So, anyway, yeah. So I had a great time. Like I was saying, it was fantastic. There's so many other stories. I mean, the people that you met, the wonderful people, everybody was so cool and so nice and so accepting. And it was just the food. The thing that was dangerous is that like every food item, a lot of the food items were infused or had the ability to be infused. So like if you weren't paying attention, you may have ended up with an infused, there were hot dogs, not hot dogs, but like bratwursts or whatever that were infused. And oh my goodness, the food smelled great. I didn't really eat very much because I was on a mission to try to find somebody who was selling legitimate stuff. I mean, the last time I went, I felt like I got right, and I saw that company that was there again, and I felt like their dabs were. I'm going to try to use this example, and I don't know if anybody knows, but when you were a crackhead back in the day, you guys remember, all you crackheads, and you would get fake crack, and it looked like crack, but it wasn't real, and you'd put it on there, and it kind of would sizzle and burn and kind of melt away. That's what the dabs were like the last time. And it kind of looked like that. I mean, it didn't taste like crack, and it didn't give me the effects of crack, so it wasn't crack.
Right.
It didn't seem right, and I bought an ounce of it. I ended up sending an ounce of it in the mail to somebody else.
I remember you telling me about that.
A half ounce of it for free.
And that just says it's complete garbage.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
It was complete garbage.
And the person who received it from me as a gift didn't like it. They didn't complain. They were happy to have it because it was better than nothing. But at that point, they had nothing. And so I was like, let me just send this to you, and you'll get it in a day or so. And
no, like it's a Wild West, right? Especially in a state where it's not legal.
Right.
So you're really just at the mercy of those people. You just don't know, right? And especially with the edibles, that's where it's dicey, because you don't know how serious they are about what they're making, or how good they are at math, or how conscious they are, or if they know their actual starting numbers, whether things have been tested so they know exactly their starting points and can even do the math right. Because if you don't know the numbers, the math doesn't matter.
There, but their cleanliness of their kitchen, their home, wherever
that's another factor. But that's one side of the coin. You know, you don't know a lot of times with restaurants either, right? What's going on? Like, I just seen a video the other day of a local Tim Hortons restaurant with
that's my experience. That's how I got how I know.
Yeah, that's the thing. But more of a concern is accurate dosing, because you know, if you don't know what you're taking, then you end up having experiences like Mississippi did without intent, right? Like, let's say somebody tells you it's 20 and it's 65, and you have that experience. It's not
right.
pleasant.
They said it was 65, but what if it was 100? You know, because they can't do it
that's
now,
exactly the thing,
my bitch,
right?
My bitch,
and that's why she could feel her heart beating in her head and hear it in her ears, and because it brings up the heart rate, elevates the blood pressure. It can bring on anxiety. It's not pleasant. Like, too much of a dose of THC is not enjoyable.
Anxiety was
I know,
bad.
And I'm somebody who loves THC and has for a very long time. But when it's too much, it's too much. It's not fun.
Like
you know?
I've never really. I mean, I'll tell you honestly, and this is the God's honest truth. I don't think that I've. I mean, there's been maybe once or twice where I've like fallen asleep because I was high, and and I couldn't keep my eyes open.
Yeah.
A few times in my life, but I've never greened out. Like, I guess that's called greening out. I guess you would call that greening out. Okay, so I greened out a few times in my life, but I've never like said, "Oh my God," except for that one bag that I bought of hydro that one time when I went on vacation to South Carolina. And that was the worst experience of my entire life. Almost made me quit smoking weed forever. I was that close to quitting forever. I was scared to death. Every time I took a hit off that shit, my heart would palpitate. I would have anxiety.
Makes you wonder if something was on it.
Yeah, well, you never know. But it was like when hydro first came out, like everybody was like going crazy. You were buying like the size of a fucking nug for $20. You were getting it was a ripoff, but I bought an ounce or a quarter ounce of a half ounce of it. And I had a whole, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Gorgeous. Hi, Marcel. How are you, buddy? I hope you're feeling better.
Uh-oh.
What's uh-oh?
Uh-oh. I didn't realize my phone might die on me.
Dr. High, you're killing me today.
I know. I just looked down because it just gave me the warning. But I ain't been able to figure out this computer yet. It has not been functional.
I'm going to do a commercial too. So we're going to do a commercial and we'll be right back. You're hanging with the Hippie and Dr. High. Hopefully Dr. High will be back when we come back.
Hey, Dad, your prescription will be ready in just a minute. Hey, Dad, your laundry
Good morning, everybody. Welcome in. Thank you so much for hanging with us.
Your lunch will
It's
be
been fun. I've had fun. The show went quick, man.
Honey.
Yeah, dude.
Almost 12 o'clock. I'm like, damn.
When you help care for a loved one, you give them as much time as you can, making sure they're safe and comfortable. But it's just as important that you take some time for yourself. At AARP, we can help with information and useful tips on how you can maintain a healthy life balance, care for your own physical and mental well-being, and manage the challenges of caring for a loved one. Because the better care you take of yourself, the better care you can provide for your loved one.
Thanks, Dad.
Thank you.
You're there for them. We're here for you. Find free care guides to support you and your loved one at aarp.org/caregiving. That's aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
All right, class. Let's hear what everyone did this
Dr.
weekend.
High?
Jill?
Yeah.
Well,
Before I lose you, tomorrow's the day you got to change your schedule.
100 years
Yes.
old. My mom said I must have set a record or
I'm
something.
also having
And then we went
schedule
down by a
conflicts as
stream and
well.
perched up
What
on
time
this
are you thinking?
Huge rock and saw all of these little
My 40, 10,
and
11.
then it was my little brother
I
from
think probably around noon.
God guarding him at the bush.
Start at 12 till 2.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's probably. I think that's going to be pretty reasonable for my timeline.
Pretty good for me too. Actually, it works out because then I'll just end there after us because I have a doctor's appointment later in the at 4. About a half hour away, so I'm gonna have to go early, and then maybe I'll come back on later that night and
it's closer than you
do a
think.
couple more hours.
Check out Discover-the-Forest.
Brought
to you by the U.S. Forest Service.
Narf. What's Narf?
WTHC. Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon. If you're up there in that little part of Canada I love so much, you guys are awesome. Hi, Pothead, and everybody up there at that store you work at. I love you guys. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. We are on Live 365 and TuneIn. You can find us there all the time. I'm live just about 24 hours a day. Between Tim the Fun Guy and myself, we've gotten like 16, 18 hours a day wrapped up right now. It's pretty cool. And then Can't Keep a Job Bob does the overnight, and we're good.
Can't keep a job, Bob.
Yeah, I hired him back. I don't know why, but I need somebody to work that nighttime when I'm sleeping stuff. You know, Tim can only go till 3 a.m. for me. You gotta
have a guy that plays that all that kind of music at night, overnight. Who am I thinking?
Can't Keep a Job Bob. That's what he does. He goes from 3 a.m. till I get on at 8 a.m. So he does like the 3 a.m., 4, 5, 6, 7.
Oh yeah, I never hear nobody talking during those hours.
Yeah, he does. He's very shy. He doesn't talk. He just plays music. No, there's no such person. It's just a computer. I call him Can't Keep a Job Bob.
Oh, I was gonna say. I figured that was all on a computer.
Yeah, it runs when I'm not on, or Tim is not on, or whoever else we have is not on. Then the computer would run the music, and there's a selection of wonderful music that we play throughout the night. But Can't Keep a Job Bob does that. He's the DJ overnight. Anyway, what do you want to talk about, Dr. High? I mean, I got my seeds. I talked about them for a few minutes. I talked about trying to remember. I have all the paperwork over there. I bought some new games that my friends and I can play on Discord, some weed-oriented games I'm pretty excited about. They seem very difficult, so it's going to be very hard to explain to some of my friends.
Right. Oh, that's real nice. Thank you, Adobe.
Here's all the paperwork. So there was over 300 vendors, 80,000 square feet, over 300 vendors, cannabis seminars and series. They had
you were.
Yeah, they had what's that shit called? Reiki.
If you got 300 vendors, that's a big show.
Oh yeah, it was, and they had room for more. They could have had more, I think. And then
that would have been interesting.
I've
been to a couple. I enjoy those.
Yeah, oh yeah.
What seeds did you get? What strain?
Well, that's what I was going to tell you. Where'd the package go now? I moved it. Can you hit the lights, Mississippi? Thank you. It says both of them. No, that one and the middle one, sweetie. Thank you. It says Jamaican blue pineapple crossed with gelato. And
Jamaican blue pineapple.
That's what it says. And it says
gelato I'm familiar with, but I've never heard of
well, it could be Jamaican blue and then a pineapple crossed with gelato. I don't see anything.
Yeah, could be blueberry.
It could be Jamaican
pineapple mixed with gelato, and I don't know what the Jamaican would be.
But it says regular photo period seeds. What does that mean?
That means that you need to
regular time, right?
Yeah, it's not an auto flower.
Right. He had auto flowers, and I said no. I think I'm going to go with those because.
Yeah, no, it's a regular photo period, so you'd have to look at the strain and see. Does it tell you how many days it needs? Is it 56 or 63 or?
No.
Does it say?
It doesn't tell me shit.
Doesn't tell you how many days it is. Flower.
It has like his email, his YouTube, and his Instagram.
Okay.
I guess that's how I can find out if I wanted to talk to him. I want to talk to him anyway. I want to have him on. So I'm going to reach out to him and we'll ask him. We'll have him on. Maybe I'll reach out to him this afternoon and see if he's interested in tomorrow.
Yeah. Because, that's kind of an important thing to know, right? Like, if you're dealing with a seed vendor who's selling seeds that are not autoflower, you kind of need to know the photo period. It's information that you need to know. Especially
regular. How much more do we need?
With a strain like that, that's not, you know what I mean? It's not like you're trying to see how long it takes for Granddaddy Purple to flower or, Durban Poison or whatever.
I think this is his own strain. That's what I think that's what he's
Well,
claiming.
then it's even more important that he lets people know how long they can expect the photo period to be.
Yeah, Mrs. Hippie just said that he says he makes his own strains. Yeah, and he's been doing it for a while, and he was talking to us about it. But I don't know all the questions to ask. You know that. I said.
Well, you'll learn.
Yeah, well,
you'll learn all the questions
to
ask.
To be very small compared to like big jumbo seeds.
Right.
We're very
I don't know. I don't know. I might intimidate people we interview by accident.
Yeah. Well, you never know.
Because I will ask the nitty gritty questions, right? The ones that people might feel tough about. Yeah, I can see the beans. How much were 5?
40 for 5.
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, I've seen them in the hundreds of dollars for 5 seeds. $200 bucks, $250 bucks.
I've never really seen them that high. 40 is like the average I see everywhere. So I was like, okay.
Well, we used to sell them wholesale, through the wholesale. We used to sell them to stores, and we were between $15 and $30 a pack wholesale, depending on the strain. But we had like probably close to 100 strains.
See, you know why I did it, I think, and it's only because of selfishness, I would assume. But he had those auto flowers, but he only had 3 in the pack for $40, and these were 5 in a pack for $40. So I think that's why I grabbed the 5 instead of the 3. Not even thinking that the other ones were auto flowers. I said I want 5 seeds for $40, not 3 seeds. The math doesn't work out right.
Right.
So I think that's where my mistake came in, is I probably should have got the 3 auto flowers instead of the 5 forever seeds, but whatever.
Well,
you live.
I mean, it just depends on what kind of attention you want to pay, right?
Well,
that's what it all comes down to. It all comes down to how much attention do you want to pay to what you're doing.
Well, I got nothing but time on my hands here. Too much time on my. Somebody coming in. You invited somebody?
Yeah. No, it's me, and it's just perfect timing because
come on in.
Because my phone's down to 7%.
Are you switching over to the computer? It's not clicking on. You have to turn one camera off, maybe. No, that.
Do I have to turn one off?
It wouldn't make sense if you're on the phone, but maybe.
It's not letting me in.
Knock, knock. It's Curly Kells at the door. Run. Ah!
Looks like I'm trying to come in.
It does.
Hold on. I'm going to kill this anyway because it's about to die on my phone. Hold on.
Yeah, well, why don't you wrap up? And if it doesn't work, you're gone. But if you do.
Yeah, I'll see you in a minute.
All right.